Hi friends, welcome back to Literacy. Today we are doing lesson 25, part 1. Go ahead and write that in your CJ, pause the video if you need more time, but I am going to move on. And we are going to start today by looking at some new phonograms. All right, let me turn that light off. Here we go. What would you guess this phonogram says? Maybe A? And I think you might think that because it might be related to A, that is AI. And we know that we don't pronounce English words that end in this GH phonogram. So you're absolutely right. If I were to write this word, you can see our new phonogram in there, and it is saying that A sound. So because it is used in only one base word, AIGH is what we call an advanced phonogram. Let me show you. Look at this giant stack. Those are all our basic phonogram cards. This is 75 basic phonograms. These 75 basic phonograms describe 98% of English words. And you have now learned all of the basic phonograms. We're all done. Now we're going to start talking about this stack, our advanced phonogram flashcards. So we got a new stack to master. It's a little smaller than the basic ones. The advanced phonograms are used only in a few words, and they're less common words, or they're more advanced words, like when you have a big vocabulary. They are not as important for reading and spelling as the basic phonograms, but it is still helpful to become familiar with them. When you understand the concept of a phonogram, oftentimes you will be able to identify advanced phonograms while you're reading and figure out what they say. So, to go along with that, I want you to get out your workbook and open to page 57. 57. It should look like this. It says the Advanced Phonogram Discovery. I want you to read the paragraph and find the advanced phonogram and highlight it, okay? And I'm going to give you a hint. You should highlight 5 things. It's used 5 times, okay? All right. I want you to go ahead and do that. Pause the video, and when you come back, I will show you what the phonogram is, okay? All right, pause the video. All right, are you ready to figure out what that new advanced phonogram was? It wasn't this one. Did you figure it out? I'll show you. It was O-U-R. Good. So what does O-U-R say? It says say Very good. What kind of vowel is O-U-R? That's your hint. It's an R-controlled vowel. Very good. What vowel is being controlled by the R? If we take away the R, we have ow, o, oo, O-U-R is a French phonogram. Do you know why there are so many French words in English? I'm going to tell you. In the year 1066, so it's 2021 now, in 1066, the French Normans invaded England. When the French Normans ruled England, they brought their language and culture with them. Many words were added to the English language. Often they were spelled using French phonograms to reflect their origin. Today, some of these French-based words are spelled differently in the United States from how they're spelled in England. One of the differences has to do with the phonogram O-U-R. So we're going to turn our workbook page to 58. We're going to compare the American and British spellings. I want you to highlight the phonogram that is different. All right, so you can see the American spelling column and the British spelling column. All right, so look at these. What's different between color and color? The phonogram, very good. All right, let's do behavior. Same thing. We're going to keep on doing that the whole way down. Feel free to work ahead of me. If you're beating me, that's A-okay. I'm betting you guys have figured out the pattern by now. All right, why might these words be spelled differently in the United States than in England? I will tell you. In 1783, Noah Webster published a book known as the Blue Back Speller to teach children in the United States how to spell. In 1806, he also published his first dictionary. Have you heard of Webster's Dictionary? I bet you have. It's really, really popular. A lot of classrooms have it. What had happened just a few years before 1783? Can you think? In 1776, the United States won the Revolutionary War and became independent from England. So since the United States was a new country, Noah Webster wanted to distinguish American spelling from British spelling. In his new dictionary and spelling program, he changed some of the spellings to be distinctly American. One of the spellings he changed was the French spelling of at the end of a word. Noah Webster only changed the spelling if the O-U-R was at the end of a word, as you can see here. He left the French spelling in the middle of words. So at the end of the word, he changed it, but if you see in the middle of a word, he left it. Kind of interesting. I think history is so interesting. All right. I'm going to close my book for a second. We'll use it again in a few moments. I want to check your phonograms. All right. Ready? Sh, zh, used only at the beginning of a syllable. A, very good. A, two-letter A, that may be used at the end of English words. Sh, short, sh, used only at the beginning of a syllable after the first one. And sh, tall, sh, used only at the beginning of a syllable after the first one. I just had to check that because it's kind of wordy. Oo, O. B, two-letter B. Ed, d, t. R, O, oo, that may be used at the end of English words. C, n, two-letter n, used only at the beginning of a base word. Oi, that may be used at the end of English words. A I used at the end of a word or before a T. A, two-letter A, that may not be used at the end of English words. N, two-letter N, that may be used at the beginning or the end of English words. E, the E of field. E-F-A, were. Oo, two-letter oo, that may not be used at the end of English words. The of search. Two-letter used only at the beginning of a base word. Ow, o, oo, the of hurt. Awesome, and we're going to stop there. Alrighty. Let's keep on going with our lesson. All right, so English is a rhythmic language. What do we call the beats in words? Do you remember? Syllables. Very good. And there is one vowel sound in each syllable, and there could be no consonants, or one consonant, or several consonants in each syllable. How do you count syllables in English? What have I taught you? To put your hand under your chin and count how many times your mouth opens. And remember, that works because the mouth opens to say the vowel sound. Or you could also hum, or you could use duck lips. And that works because every syllable must have a vowel, and vowels are sounds that can be sung. So I'm going to say a word, and I want you to repeat the word and then count the syllables. All right? So first one, table. So you should have gone table, 2. Okay? Let's try pumpkin. Pumpkin, 2. Elevator. Elevator, 4. Garage. Garage, 2. School. School, 1. Photograph. Photograph, 3. Musician. Musician, 3. Family. Family, 3. Good. Syllables in English may be given different amounts of stress. Do you remember what we call a vowel when it is distorted to or I in a syllable that is unstressed? Schwa. Very good. Everyone's favorite word. The schwa sound. If you hear a syllable with a vowel saying or I in an unstressed syllable, it may be a schwa sound. Let's open our workbook back up to page 60. Or you can just turn the page if you didn't close yours like I did. Let's bring this up a little bit. There we go. Okay, step 1, read each word. Highlight the syllable with a schwa sound. So we're going to highlight the schwa sound, the syllable. And then step 2, place your hand under your chin. Read each word aloud again, and then what do you notice? All right, let's do the first one. Let's do the first couple together, and then I'll have you pause the video. First one is ahead. Ahead. That is the syllable with the schwa sound. It's saying right, instead of a. This one is oppose. Do you hear that schwa sound? I did. Oppose. All right, let's do this one together. Bottom. bottom. Tum is schwa, right? It's not tom, it's saying tum. Bottom. All right. Pause the video, finish this on your own, and when you're ready to come back, play the video. Pause the video. All right, you are back. Here are your answers. And then what did you notice? Bottom, atlas, sofa, system, freedom. I noticed that my mouth opens more on the syllable without the schwa. Bottom, right? It opened really wide for ba and then was small for tum. The syllable where your mouth opens more is called the stressed syllable. You're actually saying this syllable a little bit louder than the other syllable. With two-syllable words, if one of the vowels is a schwa, it is clear which syllable is stressed and which is unstressed. I will say a word. Tell me which syllable is stressed. Lesson. Less. Very good. How about equip? Quip. Very good. Quiet. Quy. And around. Round. Very good. Last one. Correct. Rect. Awesome. It is also easy to hear which syllable is stressed when a word ends in a silent final E. That is needed because every syllable must have a written vowel. I will write a word. I want you to read it and then tell me which syllable is stressed. I'm going to get out my whiteboard to do so. All right. First one. What does this say? Middle. Very good. Middle. Mid is stressed. All right, next one. Let's read it. Title. What is the stressed syllable? Tie. Very good. Let's do one more. Marble. What is the stressed syllable there? Mar. Very good. It's more difficult to hear the stress when the vowels in more than one syllable are clearly articulated. Place your hand under your chin. I will say a word. Repeat it and feel which syllable your chin drops down further for. Window. Window, right? Monster. Mon. Envelope. On or en, envelope, depending how you say it. Fantastic. Task, good. Computer. Pew. Unless. Less. Good job. There is a symbol we use to mark a stressed syllable in a word. It is called a stress mark, and it looks like an apostrophe or a small slash. We will write it immediately after the syllable that is stressed, like this. So pew is the stressed syllable, and so there is our stress mark. All right. Have your workbook and turn to page 61, and we're going to practice doing that. All right. So mark the stress in each word with a stress mark. Remember, it's that little mark up there. So we have rocket, All right, let's do the next one together. Lazy. Lay is the stressed syllable. About. Bout. Between. Tween. Chicken. Chick. Marble. Mar. Lizard. Lizard. Liz is our stress syllable there. Police. Lease is actually our stress syllable. Today. Understand. Stand. Forgetful. Get. Telephone. Tell. Camera. Cam. And musical. Mew. Good. All right, turn to page 62. We will now learn how to add suffixes to some words. In each column, highlight the vowel suffixes in yellow. And then highlight the consonant suffixes in orange. I have an orange marker, so I'm going to use that. All right, let's start with step 1. By looking at all these words, we'll do those right now. So the consonant suffixes are orange, vowels are yellow. This is a vowel, 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 vowel. All right, and then all the other ones are going to be orange. Those are all our consonant ones. All right, step 2. But before I move on, I did notice that this has a consonant suffix, as does this one and this one, so I'm going to highlight those. Don't forget, we got to do those. And bagging, shipping. Okay. So we'll still need those colors to finish the rest of the columns. Step 2. In the example words, highlight the double consonant blue. I have a blue marker right here. Double consonants blue. Okay. Step 3, draw a straight vertical line to divide the syllables. Bagging, shipping, Madden, bag full, shipment, madly. Okay, now study the examples. When is the last consonant of the base word double? When is it not doubled? And then we're going to add suffixes to the rest of the words and write the words in the correct column. All right, that part I want you to do on your own. Don't forget to put in blue the double consonants, separate the syllables, and highlight the vowel suffix or consonant suffix in the correct color. All right, pause the video. All right, your workbook should look just like mine. All right, did you notice that all of these words end in a single vowel followed by a single consonant? I hope so. All right, read the words in the first column where you doubled the consonant. Bagging, shipping, Madden, snuggest, satin, etc. And then read the words in the second column where you did not double the consonant. Bagful, shipment, madly, snugly, sadly, etc. If you were to make a spelling rule to describe how to add a suffix to words ending in a single vowel followed by a single consonant, what do you think the rule would say? I will tell you. It would say to double the last consonant when adding a vowel suffix to words ending in one vowel followed by one consonant only if the syllable before the suffix is stressed. Ooh, that's a long rule. Notice this little star here. It says this is always true for one-syllable words. Let's explore this rule together. I'm going to get out my whiteboard again. All right. Put your hand under your chin and say this word. Bagging. Which syllable is stressed? The first syllable, bag. Good. Since the first syllable, bag, is stressed, I will write a stress mark after the first syllable, just like that. Now I'm going to write bagful. Does bag end in one vowel followed by one consonant? Yes, one vowel followed by one consonant. Did we add a vowel suffix? No. Therefore, we do not double the last consonant. What about shipping? Place your hand under your chin and say shipping. Shipping. What do you think is the stressed syllable? The first syllable, ship. So let's write a stress mark there. Good. Does ship end in one vowel followed by one consonant? Yes. Did we add a vowel suffix? Yes. So therefore, we need to double the last consonant, that PP right here, because the syllable before the suffix is stressed. Awesome. I'm going to write one more word, and I have to erase these words. Ran out of room. All right, shipment. Does ship end in one vowel followed by one consonant? Yes. Did we add a vowel suffix? No. Therefore, we do not double the last consonant. All right, turn your workbook to page 62. Give me a second to get there. Whoops, that was loud. So, here is a tip to help you keep in mind when testing whether to double the consonant. The base word must end in one vowel and one consonant, seen or heard. What do you think that means? It means one vowel followed by one consonant, seen or heard, means that both the vowel and the consonant must be written with a single letter phonogram and make only one sound. I'm going to write a word on my board again. Shout yes, or maybe just say, don't shout, I guess, if you would double the last consonant. Shout no if you would not. What I double the consonant. Yes, I would. Very, very good. What about, so it would become flipper like that. What about yes or no? Would I double that consonant? Yes, I would. For mopped. Good job. What about would I double the last consonant? No, I wouldn't. Sleep has a 2-letter vowel, so we don't double that consonant. What about no? X is a 2-consonant sound, so we would not double that one. What about yes or no? No, because bold does not end in 1 consonant, it ends in 2. What about would we double the consonant? No, because it again ends in 2 consonants, not 1. One more. Would we double this consonant? Yes, we would. Ends in a vowel and a consonant, one of each, both written, one of each, and we were adding a vowel suffix. Good job. All right, on page 63, last thing for today, I want you to draw a line to match the picture to the correct word. All right? Let's see how fast you can do this. I'll give you 30 seconds. All right, are you done? I bet you are. All right. Hopping, hoping, pewter, cutter, robbed, robed. Awesome job, my friends. All right, you are all done for today, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.